welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a bit different. It's not going to be a hair tutorial, but before I even start, if you guys wanted to know or see how I did this bubble ponytail, I do have a video on my channel and I'll link it down below. But today's video is going to be about my daughter Audrianna. If this is your first time to my channel, welcome. Also, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can know anytime I upload any videos. But I do have two daughters. I have a 3-year-old Audrianna and I have a 2-year-old Mila, and my daughter Audrianna, my 3-year-old, she is a special needs child. So today is just gonna be a little short video about her syndrome. I told you guys in my last vlog of a day in the life of a special needs mom. If you guys haven't checked out that video, I'll also link it down below in the description box. But I told you guys in that video that I would make a separate video about what Audrianna's diagnosis actually is, because it is so rare. My daughter Audrianna was diagnosed with Kleefstra Syndrome at about 18 months old, and I'll try to put it in the easiest terms possible. But what that actually means is Audrianna is missing a piece of her ninth chromosome. How did this affect Audrianna? She has mild to moderate hearing loss. She has low muscle tone, which makes it hard for her to stand and balance her body. She is not walking independently yet, but she is taking a couple steps with her walker. She is also nonverbal, so she's not speaking yet, but she is making more sounds, but she is not saying any words as of right now. It's so rare that I wanted to make this video and to use my platform to bring awareness to her syndrome, because I feel as though I need to. It's so rare that I'm just gonna give you guys an example. Audrianna could potentially be the only child in the whole entire state of Florida with this syndrome. I'm not saying that she is, I'm just trying to give you guys an example of how rare that it is. All of Audrianna's doctors and her therapists, she is in speech, occupational, and physical therapy to help her throughout her daily life. All of her doctors and therapists have never even heard of this syndrome. Audrianna is their very first case. So sometimes that's rough, or it was rough in the beginning for me, but I've found different ways to, to deal with things, which I'll also make a separate video about that, because I don't want to make this video too long. This is actually just going to be, well, technically it's the second video of a series that I'm going to be doing about, being a special needs mom. Like I said, Audrianna was diagnosed at 18 months, and I know that you're wondering, if all of her doctors have never heard of her syndrome, how was she diagnosed? We went through genetics, and she was diagnosed that way after having genetics testing done. The testing took about 2 to 3 months to come back. Audrianna was diagnosed in about, I think it was February of 2018. So I spent all of 2018 just researching and just trying to understand this syndrome, doing my own research, since her doctors couldn't really tell me a lot. They can give me, a couple of basics, but they couldn't really tell me a lot. When she was diagnosed, we were bombarded with a ton of doctor's appointments. My baby girl has seen every single doctor that you can ever even imagine, because all of her doctors, which are completely amazing, they wanted to be very thorough, to have every piece of Audrianna's puzzle to come up with the best plan of care for her. And so I spent all of 2018 researching and taking her to appointments. And also I had just had Mila like 2 months before Audrianna was diagnosed, which was rough. So I spent 2018 researching and also being a mom of a newborn. I spent the rest of 2019 up until this point. Well, I would say up until her birthday in August, when she turned 3, because that's when I kind of opened up more on my social media platforms about her syndrome. I spent every piece of that portion for me, and also coming to terms and coming to bringing myself to a place of peace to be able to open up about this point in my life. It was very rough. When we got her diagnosis, it hit me like a ton of bricks. The first thing that I thought was, this is my fault. And I thought that because before I had Audrianna, I had 2 miscarriages prior. So I automatically just thought like, this is my fault. But I also noticed that I'm not the only special needs parent who has had these thoughts. I'm in a lot of groups on Facebook. I'm in 2 groups on Facebook with other parents who have children with this syndrome, and also Audrianna goes to a special needs school, so I have connected with parents there and made relationships there, and that's how I realized that I wasn't the only parent to think this. But you know, going along the journey with Audrianna and going along the journey within myself, I have come to a point where, and I've also spoken to my husband about this. Sorry if you guys hear the helicopter or airplane or something flying by, but I have spoken to my husband about this, and what I realized and what he told me is sometimes God places you in a particular place or on a specific journey, not just for you, but also for someone else. So I wanted to, you know, open up this dialogue and this piece of my life on my platform, because it could potentially, just like it's helping me to be more open about it. This is a piece of my journey. Me being more open about it, I never know who is gonna help in the long run. Like I never know who's gonna watch these videos, because I'm making this a series on my channel. Who will watch these videos and just think to themselves, oh, I'm not alone. I'm not the only person who ever felt that, or I'm not the only person who's going through that. So it's important for me to do this. Like it's something that I have been called to do. It's something that God placed into my journey in life. And also my daughter is absolutely wonderful, and I wouldn't change her for anything in the world. But I also, you know, want to shed light on, you know, some of the things that are okay, and some of the things that are not okay that, you know, people do or say, or, you know, how they approach special needs children or parents of special needs children. There are just a lot of things that I feel being called to share. So I hope you guys are rocking with me and you go along on this journey with me, because there will be, you know, up and coming vlogs and videos about my daughter, because my daughter is my life. And Audrianna, when you ever watch this, just know that mommy loves you, mommy and daddy love you, and your sister Mila absolutely adores you. And I think that's it, you guys, for this video. Like I said, I didn't want to make it long, but I just wanted to explain to you guys a little bit of what Audrianna syndrome actually is. But until next time, you guys, see you later, boos.